Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop me a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys. It goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. Now, this week we're on issue 32 of Stormbringer magazine, and this week we get 20 minis. So, all on this one large sprue, we have 20 of the Goblin Moon Clan shooters, or you can make them in stabbers, or you can have a combination of both, entirely up to you. Personally though, I will be making these into the shooters, and I have a second set on the way, which will be the stabbers, and yeah, you can have a bit of a combination of the two. Really cool stuff though, so there are a few extra bits and pieces that you will have on here that you won't be using depending on the models you're making, but otherwise super cool. 20 minis is a rather lot, so yeah, good fun. It's going to be interesting, and they are only small little diddy guys, so yeah, it's not going to take too much to get through these guys and paint them up as well. So really good fun though, but yeah, quite enjoyable and quite nice to have a go at as well, so happy days. Now, before we go into the magazine, I will apologise if I sound a little bit off. I have actually got a cold at the moment. Been coming down with it for the past couple of days, so I'm a little bit off it. So we will try to make this as painless as possible and crack on with it. Anyway, going into good old issue 32. First off, we are greeted by clammy corners and the Gloomspite Gits. So grots can be found everywhere. They have infested tunnels, caverns, and lost underground cities across the mortal realms. Choosing to live in the dark and clammy corners no other empire would think to inhabit. Like the fungus they are obsessed with, the Gloomspite Gits thrive in damp, dark caves. Once a clan of grots has claimed a cavern for its own, they are almost impossible to shift. Even hardened warriors struggle to fight in the slick, dark and trap-laden tunnels the grots call home. The largest lurk lairs stretch for miles in every direction, the grots within teeming outwards from their slimy burrows to expand their empire and raid the surface. So, as you can imagine, the Gloomspite Gits and the grots have a habit for like getting in the little dank corners and like to be a bit of a nuisance, in all honesty. So they're kind of like an infestation, really. So they will get in the way and yeah, kind of take over. You get a bit more information about them, and so they do hate the sun. So the Gloomspite Gits dig their lairs deep underground. They hate the sun, which they call Glareface Frazzlegit, and hide from the sunlight where possible. They do have patrols, including things like the Shootas, which you get with this issue. They do have squigs, so fungus-grown creatures that have big, massive mouths, teeth, and are a bit weird and a bit nuts. They do have the bosses as well, so the bosses are your leaders for all the grots. They do have squiggly beasts as well, so different beasts are kind of manipulated and kind of treated as companions and food for the Gloomspite Gits. And the deep caverns as well, where they do sometimes find Troggoths and such like as well. So really good stuff there. And a bit more information about the Gloomspite Gits. So if you don't know anything about them and you're interested in grots, grot culture and much more, this page is very much up your alley. Then we move on, we get more information about the Realm of Chaos and Varanspire. So at the heart of the mortal realms lies the Varanspire, a hellish fortress that towers over the vital sub-realm known as the 8 Points. The Varanspire is a mind-boggling vast chaos citadel from which Archaon, overlord of the Slaves of Darkness, plans his conquest of reality. 8 concentric walls shield the fortress from assault, each guarded by an order of Vanguard, elite warriors utterly dedicated to Archaon. So, the 8 Points is situated within the kind of the realm of chaos, and the Slaves to Darkness do love to inhabit that area as well. And Varanspire is very much dedicated to all scene and all kind of bits. Obviously utilising 8 concentric walls, and the fact that it's the 8 points and the 8-pointed star of chaos, so everything revolves around the number 8 in that area. But yeah, if you're interested in that as well, you can get some of the well, if you find it now, some of the Warcry kits were all to do with Varanspire, and were all to do with the different aspects of mining within and kind of resource gathering within the realm of chaos. So you do get information about the Everchosen as well, and proving grounds as well, including things like the Iron Golems, which are kind of like a tribe of chaos worshippers, because the chaos worshippers are split into different clans in a lot of places as well. So there are different clans from different areas that support different gods and don't always know exactly the name of each individual god that we come to know of. So like Khorne, they may not know as Khorne, they may know it as something else, or Nurgle, they may know as something else, and such like. So bit of information for you, a bit different as well, and a bit more lore based around the forces of chaos, which is always pretty cool. Then we get our Moon Clan Shootas page. So obviously you get to roll your base, your boss traits, and get more information of them. And of course, the Moon Clan Grots armed with bows are known as Shootas. They assemble in huge unruly hordes and use their sheer weight of numbers to overwhelm their enemies. Even the toughest foes struggle under endless hails of arrows, while those who wade through such an assault are swiftly caught in cruel nets. So you do get a couple of net carriers, and you do get a couple of banners as well with these, which is always really cool. So you also get to utilise your unit traits and give them their designated name as well. So why not? Then obviously we have our build guide. So our build guide, building up through all of the 20 little chappies. In all honesty, some of them are dead simple. So with some of them you're going to be able to do things. So you're going to be able to do your boss and your basher, and you're going to be able to do your good old standard bearer if you really wish to, and then all the others are dead easy. So you're just literally, you know, sticking them down to the base, sticking the arms on that you want to have on them, and done. Simple as. That's how easy these guys are. So these guys are probably the easiest kit that we actually have throughout the entirety of this magazine. So dead simple, dead easy, and not too bad though, quite fun. Then we move on, we get our how to paint guide. Our how to paint guide, obviously these guys wear black robes, so going off kind of more of a traditional paint scheme, if you base coat it black, you're going to have a far easier job out of it. If you go for anything like else like Mechanica Standard Grey, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. If you go in for white, very, very difficult. So bit of a bad and black as your base coat, then you can utilise different shades, different greys and stuff like that to kind of change the tone of them cloaks, and obviously your greens, and you're going to get a really, really nice looking mini at the end of it, and you can have a bit of fun with it. But otherwise you shouldn't go wrong with it. It's fairly easy. The paint scheme on these pages is, in all honesty, pretty good. It's actually pretty much accurate. For the rest of it, obviously there are a few things missing because there are paints that we don't have yet. So if you have some Biltang green shade or something like that, you could utilise that over it. Different kind of colours for your fletching and your arrows and stuff like that if you wish to. But otherwise, dead easy, simple as, you'll have fun. Moving on though, we get more of our advanced rules. So rules page 11, so this is all about wizards and how spells work and utilising those within your games. So obviously if you are utilising any spellcasters, you are going to sometimes have to roll for casting and to utilise certain things like Mystical Shield and stuff like that. If you miscast, you can take damage. That's as simple as. So dead easy. And there are also the rules for end spells here as well, before I skip over that. But yeah, otherwise you will find about a bit more information. So there are different spells that different wizards can cast. So you will have certain things that only the goblins can cast, only certain things that only the stormcaster can cast, and such like. Then we get our War Scroll page for the Moon Clan Shootas. So these guys, they're yeah, squishy as hell. 1 wound. So they are going to die very, very, very fast. They're not very good at saving themselves. So these guys are designed to be kind of your cannon fodder. So they're there to pump up the numbers, march in, and yeah, take a lot of hits. They're also not very brave, in all honesty, so they're a bit nuts with it. But, you know, they are pretty cool. You get a lot of them, so you get a lot of firing from them and a lot of firepower. So there's a lot of arrows going forward. And, yeah, away you go. Then we move on to this week's battle. So this week's battle is Swirling Darkness. Obviously, for your Alliance of Order, you're using your Lord Imperatant, Knight Arcanum, Lord Aquila, 5 Vigilors, Stormstrike Chariot, and 6 Gryph-hounds. Going up against our Loon Boss, Killer Boss with Stabgrot, Zarbag and Zarbag's Gits, our New Moon Clan Shooters, and 10 Gut Rippers. And your battlefield looks something like that. So 4 objectives, have fun, smash the hell out of each other, why not? Pretty good stuff though, and yeah, a fairly simple, straightforward battle. Moving on though, next week, issue 33 is our Knight Judicator. This is actually a pretty cool model, so a big massive bow being wielded by a Stormcast Eternal, and he has 2 Gryph-hounds accompanying him, which is pretty cool. And it's just a unique unit, isn't it? It's a really, really cool one. I do like the look of this guy, although his bow is ridiculously huge. Yeah, but yeah, really, really cool stuff. Then issue 34 is a paint issue. We get Norn Oil, very, very handy to have, and we get Incubi Darkness, which is also pretty handy to have for your darker blues and hues, and kind of give you that bluish, bright leather kind of look, black leather kind of look. So not bad, not bad at all. But with that said, thank you very, very much for watching. Hopefully I'll feel better next week and I'll be able to do this without having little breaks and coughing. But otherwise, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.